Right, good evening everybody, how we all doing? I should be editing a video which I shot at work today, which is kind of an introduction to pipe smoking, and for some bizarre reason it decided to stop recording right before the wrap up, so I'm going to have to reshoot that. So I figured, you know what, time for a review. So I got this sent to me by Chris, a member of, as I mentioned in the Yabo I did the other day. He's from the Pipe, Whiskey and Cigar Union, basically a group on Facebook. We're a bunch of pipe, cigar and the rest of whiskey drinkers. I'm not much of a whiskey drinker. As many of you know, I tend to drink a lot of this stuff. Good old tea. So, he sent me some tobaccos. Now, this was one which I've heard a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people I know want me to review this. This is shortcut to shrooms, shortcut to mushrooms, basically. Now, I've already had a bowl of this. It was basically Skype and Pipe on Tuesday with Daft Lily John and Flanker Tanker. Now, I was told on my Yabo video that I probably won't find this quite as enjoyable as I was hoping. As many of you know, I like my Latakia blends to have a lot of Latakia. Now this is kind of an aromatic with Latakia. Aromatic Latakia. This is the sort of thing that my Deliverance blend I made is this sort of thing. I mean, smelling it, to look at it in the pack, this is in one of those funky vacuum seal bags I was talking about. It's predominantly black. There is some kind of lovely walnut grades in here as well. The aroma is very, very sweet. It's got a very earthy, kind of musky, fusty, dusty sort of smell to it. A kind of mushroom sort of aroma. There's a very small amount of smokiness in the background from the Latakia. And I say, when I tried this, it was pleasant, very enjoyable, but very, very light. I kind of just chain smoked it, trying to get some oomph out of it. But I'm going to try and give you a detailed review. I'm going to smoke this in my Butz Shockwaan Origin 01. Now, the last time I smoked this, sorry, my Butz Shockwaan 102 Origin. So when I did smoke this before, I found it was a bit. This pipe was a little bit bitter. Now I've ran some vodka on a pipe cleaner down the inside of the shank. It's a acrylic stand that used to be Albatross leg bone. Somebody once told me. So I'm going to load this up. Like I say, I got this in a tray. There's quite a few other tobaccos, another 4 for me to try, but this is one that I just wanted to review, basically. A few of you have asked me for the review. Apparently it's part of the Lord of the Rings collection of pipe tobaccos, which I know absolutely nothing about. I've just heard quite a few people talking about it. Now, in the video I did earlier, I talked about the three layer packing method. I've just put 4 layers into this, but whatever. I don't tend really to use that. I tend to just shove a load of tobacco in, compact it down, and see how she goes. But you gotta tell people to start somewhere. I tend to just keep putting tobacco in until I'm happy. So, just going to fire this up, just bear with me one moment. Do you know what? I could see that golf tee that John sent me, and now I've had a bit of a tidy up. Well, say tidy up. Now I've moved a few things around on this desk. My desk is a state. I'll show you what my desk is like most of the time. The chaos that is my desk. It is a freaking state. So, I guess the reason I've chosen this pipe is the shortcut to mushrooms is a Lord of the Rings tobacco. So, I need to have my my Gandalf pipe, don't I? So, as you can see, This tobacco is very, very, very free burning. It's good burning tobacco. It produces a large volume of smoke. On the whole, I think it's Black Cavendish. Some sweet caramel, sort of almost toffee kind of flavours to it. And burnt sugars, heavily cased. It burns so smooth, so cool. It's a lovely, lovely sweet smoke. There is those kind of earthy flavours, kind of damp woodland sort of hints on the finish. The smokiness from the Latakia is so subtle. It is a really enjoyable tobacco. No matter how fast you pull at it, it doesn't seem to bite. It's a little bit warm in the tongue at the moment, but like I say, it's just such an easy tobacco to smoke. The flavours are not very complex, they're not very big. Like I say, it's got some sweetness there. There is kind of that, say, damp woodland sort of tang on the finish, and smokiness isn't really there. You do get a little bit of, there's a very, very dry finish. It's very dry in texture in the mouth. The draw's quite creamy, the finish is dry. But the Latakia is such a small part of the flavour. Not a great deal of complexity, but it's a lovely light smoke. Carries hardly any nicotine at all. I'm very tempted to stick a cigarette at the other side of my mouth and smoke the two at the same time. So I'm going to crack on with this. This tobacco is, like I say, it's free burns very easily. Predominantly seems to be burning in the middle at the moment, so I'm just going to have a bit of poke around with this, try and get some of these bits that aren't burning around the edge into the inside. And I'm going to keep smoking my way through. I'm going to come back once I get about halfway through, let you know if there is any progression. Okay, if memory serves me right from all of yesterday, there's not a great deal of progression to this at all. But at the start, it's beautiful. For a sweet aromatic, it's a lot more flavoured than English style American aromatics. The Latakia content's just a little bit too insignificant for me. But anyway, I'm going to come back in a moment and let you know how she's progressing. Right, so I'm pretty much halfway through this now. It does change a little bit, I will have to say that, when you're actually paying attention to it and not just smoking away, chatting with folks on Skype. In fact, there isn't actually a great deal left in the bottom of this now. It is starting to get a little bit warm on the tongue. The sweetness is still there, but it's more just sort of like burnt sugars and sort of dirty sugar, I think, acts as a good sound. There's still a very general, subtle back note of smoke, but it's not very... I've been smoking Gauss number 12, as I keep bloody going on about, for quite a while now. So when I've gone from something that's got that high ratio of Latakia in it to something that's got fractional, minuscule amounts of Latakia, and it loses its flavour. Still smokes quite well. So it still has a slight, like, damp woodland mushroom kind of earthiness to it, but I say it's more just dirty burnt sugars now. So, but what I will say about this tobacco is, if you like your aromatics with a little bit of Latakia and a little bit more body to them, it's still quite light. I mean, body as in kind of a big flavour. It's a big flavour. It's not very complex. There's not many subtleties going to it. It's just sweet, dirty, earthy, mushroomy, fusty flavours. It's nice, but it's not really my kind of thing. I have enjoyed smoking it. Like I said, this is my second bowl in 2 days, which for a tobacco that's of this character is not really, you know, the kind of thing I'd smoke a lot. But I think I will end up smoking all of this. So yeah, those of you asked me to review it. Like I say, it's kind of a little bit like Billy Bud, but without. It's Billy Bud with something missing. It's nice. It's nice, basically. It's not. Anything too spectacular. I'm just I'm sucking air through here. It's a bit better. So, like I say, it's nice. If you like aromatics with a little bit of latakia to it, then you know it's a good thing for you. I have smoked quite a few other tobaccos like this. Like I say, even I make something along these lines. Obviously, mine's better. Sorry, I just have to have these moments of egotistical madness. Only problem is, smoking in a pipe like this and you're a wet bloody smoker like I am, it gets a bit horrible at the end. There is some nuttiness to it, I guess. It kind of comes in with a woodland floor, damp floor sort of taste. But no, it just doesn't have anything to it to me. I like big, strong, robust flavours, and this is a very, very light, very, very sweet, caramelised, burnt sugars sort of thing. So yeah, that's my review of Shortcut to Mushrooms. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'm going to attempt to shoot that video over on my the Gauntleys Tobacco YouTube channel that I run as well. I haven't done any videos for a while. Like I say, that was one cocked up today, so I'll reshoot that tomorrow. And I might be back in a few days with a little bit of something else. Hopefully my trays will start making their way over to the other side of the pond in the next couple of days as well. There's some treats for two of our Canadian presenters in there, and there's also the reverse package for Chris for sending me these tobaccos. And we've had a few people who've waded in talking about these packages basically, and I think it's a cracking idea, and I am going to look into basically sorting myself out the means of doing this myself, because it's a genius idea. I mean, glassing things up in jars, I mean, that's perfect. I mean, you can pick up small jars. I can't even find one to hand. You pick up small jars quite cheaply, like these, and these keep things fine if the tobacco that you put inside wasn't dry when you put it inside there. But for long-term storage, this could be a good idea. Someone else had an even better ingenious idea. Small packets like that hold 3 or 4 grams, ideal for, whoops, I've spilt burning hot tobacco all over my desk. Things that could hold 3 or 4 grams, ideal for one bowl, one smoke's worth. Will be brilliant if you're going boating or camping or something like that. Keep each individual bowl's worth dry. If you do, you know, have a serious problem and you get a leak, a rupture in there, you're only going to lose one smoke's worth. Which I think is a pretty ingenious idea. It's a shame that like twist and plug requires quite so much breaking down, otherwise you could just neatly slice those off, just pop it in and away you go. But I've tried that in the past and it's not the most successful of ideas. So anyway, I've waffled on for 15 minutes again. Oh well. So yeah, I'll be back soon with some more videos. I think it's about time I did another cigar review at some point, I'm sure, so I may be back with a cigar review next. But until then folks, take care, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.